Hello, everybody. This is Kiki from Living Food. How's everybody doing today? I have an amazing guest. And first of all, I thank God for another day. This is a day that the Lord has made. And, if we wake up with expectancy, something good is going to happen today. Right, Rachel?
Right. It already did. I woke up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That means that, he's not done with us.
Nope, not at all.
Right? And
No.
that's why you're here to
Mhm.
share your beautiful story, which I only heard a portion. And I can't wait because I know you're going to bless so many people. So, anyway, Rachel and I met through John, who's a friend of mine. And Living Food by Kiki is a product that is shared through testimonial. And it's so powerful that you really have to encounter it for yourself to really understand, right, Rachel? To have your own
Right.
encounter to say, wow, never did I think it was going to do all this. But, anyways, Rachel, thank you for taking the time all the way from Hawaii.
Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear your love story as well as your health story. But I feel so honored to hear what little bit that I heard. So, girl, share with me. So, John is your brother. So, talk to me. How did he share Living Food with you, and what happened?
Well, actually, a year ago, he mentioned it. If I think it was a year ago, he talked about this product. And at the time, I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't know that I need that. We were doing okay. Everything was fine. I felt great. And then in November, my husband suffered a stroke and a heart attack, and it changed our lives that day. Um, Everything that was normal was not there. And the health that we had before that we just took so for granted. I mean, we thank God for it every day, but it was not there. And when he returned home, the eating habits had to change overnight. So all of a sudden, my cooking had to change. Everything in the refrigerator, I had to toss out things. I'm married to a Pacific Islander. He's Hawaiian and Chinese, and they eat a lot of fatty things and sausages and pork. And I mean, he loves these things, but that he no longer could have them. So I went vegan just to clear his body. And I walked into Whole Foods with like a deer with headlights. I go, what do I do? And I started looking at contents
Wow.
and what had cholesterol, what didn't.
Oh,
And he all
wow.
suffers from gout as well.
Can I
So
can I just intervene really quickly?
sure.
So let's go back a little bit. When I was asking you a little bit of your testimony, the comment that you made, I think it was until that day, something drastic happened.
Right.
So what was that day like? Were you just eating at dinner table and all of a sudden he didn't feel well?
No, I was in Florida visiting my son. And with the time change, it's 6 hour difference. So I always call my husband when I'm out of town, just, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night to make sure he's all right. And when he answered the phone, he was speaking in circles. And I knew it's like the Holy Spirit said he's had a stroke. And I freaked. I said, okay, hang up the phone. And I'm going to call our tenant that lives in the back and ask her to go see him and call 911 because I knew it was bad.
So
And
you weren't
within,
even next to him when it happened.
no, I was in
Oh,
Florida. And so he was alone. And so within 10 minutes, I was talking to paramedics and they took him full code to the hospital.
now
And
was your husband with health challenges at that time?
no, he was supposed to take his meds, but he never did because he said he didn't have to. And, so I kind of watched him, but he would do what he wanted and he liked his beers and he liked his pork and he liked his gravy. And if you live in Hawaii, the diet is not that great. They like all those saucy, porky, fatty sausage things that are not good for you. And they like their snacks, so that,
I call it flesh food.
yeah, he
It's
ate a
good
lot
for
of
the body.
that. And so I knew his cholesterol was high because he was supposed to be taking that med, but he never did. So it caught up with him and he had a heart attack. And the heart attack spontaneously caused the stroke. So that's what happened. And our lives changed at that moment.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then when I got home, it was all during the pandemic crazy, and I could not see him because Hawaii has a lot of heavy restrictions, and I had to be in quarantine for 10 days. So I could see him in the hospital. The only way I could see him was through one of the nurses had a screen, like a FaceTime thing. And the challenges were big because I couldn't touch him or see him. But when he did come home, it was scary because my beautiful husband was now this little
Mm.
shrunken, sick, pale, poor baby, had been through the war.
So you're
And
telling me he really physically changed
yes,
and how much time?
a week,
Whoa.
in a week, just being in the hospital. And I don't know that he ate very much. I don't know really what the diet was that they gave him other than what he wanted, but they did restrict cholesterol, heavy fats. None of that could happen anymore. But they never told me what he should eat. By the time the insurance companies got around to giving me that, it had been 2 months. So I knew I had to take action. So I did. I went online and I learned and I tried, but it wasn't enough. Um, and then I had to relearn because the things that I gave him to replace meat and certain things, he was causing the gout. So he was having chronic gout and he was in a wheelchair. And we didn't know what he was eating that was causing it. So I had to further investigate. And when I did, I realized everything that brought his cholesterol level way down was giving him the gout. So,
You had to start from ground zero
yes.
of how to eat healthier so that you could get your, as you said, beautiful husband back to where he was, which you said you just only been married for 5 years, which is another
Right.
love story that I want to hear. So you said that you walked into what store? Whole Foods or Trader
Whole Foods, or yeah, just and even in any grocery store, just the vegetables, but I needed whole food. I couldn't give him anything that was processed. That wasn't going to happen. I knew that was not good, but to incorporate it and make a meal and give him something that was going to taste good. It was going to take a while for his taste buds to change because you can't just do that without, oh man, this doesn't taste good. And the salt had to be eliminated. There were certain things he couldn't have because of blood thinners. So there was drugs conflicting with the nutrition, and the gout has its own issues. There's no seafood, there's no fats, there's, cauliflower, soy. He couldn't have any of that. So all the replacements were working against him. So I
wow.
was really, and it was crazy. It was crazy. And then as I was along for the ride, so of course, my health and my stress level was insane.
You're like, I
So,
missed that gravy, but I know it can make a change, right?
but just not knowing what to really do and feeling like I've got to relearn everything. That it messed with us both. We both had, at that point, after 2 months being into it, he did start to recover. His cholesterol did go down, but the gout was still chronic and he was still in a wheelchair and he was still in pain and immobile. And I didn't know what to do. I was just, okay, Lord, you got to teach me some more, help me help him.
So in the meantime, had John
He
Share the
kept saying, Ray, you got to do this. And he goes, the woman that I know, she's healthy and she's vital and her complection is beautiful. And, she's just got this energy and he goes, it blows me away, and I said, well, how old is she though? Because like I'm almost 70, man, give me a break. but he said, no, it's different. The skin glows and it's pink and it's healthy and she's got this energy. She's always moving around. And I thought, well, she's probably just one of these hyper people,
Yeah.
And
if anything, this product calmed me down. That's all
so I was like, I could use some of that, but I didn't. I was not fully convinced because there was too much happening.
I get it.
And I wasn't paying really attention to me until I got to a point where I could no longer not think of myself. I was falling apart. And I took a hard look in the mirror because I'm on the vain side. That's how I am. And I looked at myself and I go, what happened to you? Where did you go? And I had no energy. It was spent. Stress, my skin broke out, and I never had pimples before, but I had them and I was itchy and my face looked nasty and I was just not happy, not glowing, not anything. And I just thought, I need to take care of me. So one night I prayed and I said, Lord, tell me what to do because I can't keep doing it this way. I'm not being a good servant. It's not who I am. Who is this person that I turned into? And my husband was getting better, but he wasn't vibrant either. He was doing well, but we were not able to get back into our exercise because of physical things that were happening with him. And I just thought, we need to get well. I need to get well so I can take better care of him. And God just said, okay, call John. So I called John and I said, it's time for me
I
to
kept telling John, call Rachel. I know what I'm talking about. I don't care if you get on her nerves. I've got a lot of people's nerves and now they thank me because their health is at another level. Because you know what, Rachel, I'm not sure if you know this. Tanya tried to share this with me for 2 years. And I said, no, thank you. On the third day of drinking this drink, my life changed. I had about 5 testimonies on that third morning. And May 1st will be 5 years for me. I'm still in that dream. And that's here I go to say, thank you, Jesus, for this amazing plant-based drink. And if I'm going to bug you, we'll drink it and I'll leave you alone. Because guess what? We're not going to stop.
Yeah, I can't because after I would say 2 to 3 weeks, when I would look at my face, and do my morning, I go, I don't have any pimples. What happened? And try to squeeze the nose to see if all the junk came out and nothing. I go, oh my God. And I really took a good look and I thought, my face is cleared up.
This is after starting the living food.
Yes, it was after about maybe I would say 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks. I noticed and I thought, oh my God, well, I know I'm not stressed because all of a sudden the stress was gone. That crazy poundy stress that takes you down and pulverizes you, it makes you immobile. It was not there. And you had told me once that you woke up feeling happy. And I thought, I want to do that, and then one morning I woke up, bounced up, put my shorts on, put on a tank top, went out to the garden. I started doing my thing. And I thought, you just woke up. Usually it takes you a little while to rev, but it was like I was ready to move. And that's how it's been. I wake up ready to go.
You said something so important. We don't roll over and just say, oh, let me push the snooze button. Okay, let me get up. It's like once you open up your eyes, they're up and you're like, let's do this.
Yeah, and it was really nice. I just drink it and then I'm ready and I'm alert. And then I wake Bruce up and he's ready. And he started 2 weeks ago. And I saw such an overnight, with the first drink, I saw that day he was moving around and he was excited, and we did our water aerobics again, and he was alert. And usually he sleeps a lot during the day, but he never slept that day. And he usually takes a long 2-hour nap, 2, 3, and he didn't sleep. He wanted to be up and he wanted to go cut the coconut palm trees. And I'm like, don't do that, but he's got to do stuff, and he's back to himself because he's on the hyper side. And I hadn't seen that part of him in a long time. And now he's back. He's still having speech problems. There's still some challenges because that's the name of the game. A stroke will do that. But he's really trying, and his skin changed. The color of his skin. He's not pale. He's been 2 weeks now, and his skin has a really nice brown color, and he doesn't have that. It's like a haggard look, I would say. It was
Tired.
yeah, and just haggard, but it's kind of bright, and he's in a good mood. And he used to whistle a lot. I hope he can get it together enough to do that again.
Oh, I want to hear about that testimony. We're gonna pray that whistle is gonna
come comes back.
Yeah.
But he likes it, and at first he was not going to do it, but when I finally said, would you like to try it, he said yes.
Rick,
But
I think it's a macho thing. I hear this from a lot of wives. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the wives will sneak it in a morning juice, and they're like, "Oh, babe, I feel good today." So they eventually tell them, but I don't know what
I've been giving you stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
I said, try this. You got to try everything to get well. I go, I can't do this for you. You have to try. And so he said, okay, I'll try. And then the next day I go, would you like another juice? And he goes, oh yeah. And then by the end of that week, he's going, can I have my juice? I mean, he asked me for it. So he's drinking it. And when we ran out, we did run out. I had to learn how to order right. But he goes, we're out of juice. I go, yeah. He goes, oh, well, when's it coming in? so it's on its way. It should be here tomorrow, hopefully. But now that I haven't had it, because I've not taken it for a whole month, I can feel I'm not getting up grouchy, but I slept in late today. And I thought, I don't have that, I got to do this. I can do this. And I don't want to not have it because I like that feeling. It's not like an artificial kind of a jump that you get from some, like a Red Bull or, one of those drinks. Yeah. Yes. It's not like that. It's
energy drink.
It stays with you all day, and it doesn't make you like, crazy. It just makes you feel like you want to do things, and you're clear, and your heart's not beating crazy because you did some caffeine. It's just a nice, like when I was 18 kind of feeling, where you have that natural, oh yeah, let's go do that. I can do that. Yeah. Wow. And I still like a nap once, I do get tired around 3:00. I need a little snooze because I'm old, but it's not that tiredness of all day. And Bruce is getting stronger too. So he's more pleasant, we're more pleasant, to be around. We kid more because that didn't happen for a while. It was so serious.
Oh. So you see your beautiful husband coming back, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. And
that's so beautiful.
Yeah. So that's it. And it cleared up my skin. And I think because the nutrients in it, but also the stress level went way down. And if that was causing the complexion to break out, then it stopped that. That's the only thing I can think. Or I needed more nutrients. My body needed more than I was giving it. And it took it.
Let me share something with you. So I want to share with you why these things are happening. First of all, nobody's getting the nutrition that's in this one drink. Nobody, no matter how healthy we cook. So our body's made of trillions of cells. That's why I call what we're eating is delicious, the gravy
Mhm.
and the pork, but that's flesh food with no good consequences. This is functional cell food. So if we have cells and we give it cell food, what makes sense, we're giving it the right fuel and it's functional food to function better every day. So when you have proper sleep at night, like we should, then we're going to wake up satisfied and ready for the day. We're not going to be rolling over,
Mhm.
tired, and having to get up and still take something to try to get through the day. So this product already took care of all of that. So now your body's rested. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard of adaptogenic herbs. Okay.
Mhm.
Adaptogenic herbs bring a calmness, less anxiety. There's something about that ingredient. That's just one ingredient also in the living food. So it's amazing how every supplement was handpicked, Rachel, to work synergistically together to be an all-in-one solution. It's not a vitamin for this, a vitamin for that. It's one simple, powerful drink. And it sounds so good to be true that I believe it's going over people's heads because we never had anything like this.
Mhm.
But God, and I say, we can't put God in a box. It's happening. He's given us a simple, affordable, healthy solution because this is, if you break it down, I know Hawaii is a little bit different. You can share that with me, but this is less than $2.50 a serving.
Mhm.
We can never get all this for that amount of money, but yet we spend more than, I see a little smirk there. We spend more than $2.50 on things that we know aren't healthy, that we know that after we may want to go take a nap because it's not living and our cells are living organisms, but yet we can go and spend in a taco, chile relleno burrito, quesadilla, which that's flesh food, you know, I'll eat them occasionally, but we don't think twice about it. But the minute you bring an amazing product for less than $2.50, what happens? People become skeptical.
Mhm.
Isn't that funny? I just learned so much about people's mindset. And I say, aren't you worth $2.50 to get all this? It's, you know, have you received a scientific study? If not, I'm going to send it to you. It shares everything that's in it, all plant-based. And I think that we need to, starting with myself, I never point the finger because I didn't know either. That's why I
Oh, I
said no
lost
for
you.
2 years.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I said no for 2 years, meaning I understand that people aren't going to get it. But now that I get it, I ask God, Lord, how do I share this product so that people understand cells, functional cell food, or flesh food? Why are we spending more on the flesh food? What's wrong with this picture? What didn't they teach us growing up? They didn't
Mhm.
teach me those things. They taught me how to make 100 flavors of fun. They taught me how
Yeah.
to cook great Puerto Rican food, great Mexican food. But you know what? They weren't taught. So they're going to pass down, right? The knowledge
Mhm.
that they have to us. And I have my favorite Puerto Rican recipes, just like maybe your husband may have a good Hawaiian
Mhm.
recipe that maybe you'll cook for me one day. I don't know. You know what I mean? But we have to change our habits for the most part if we want to have longevity, you know, of life. So just a little training right there is cell food versus flesh food.
Mhm.
That's why your face is looking more radiant. I mean, I just met you, but John would always say, "Oh, you guys are going to get along. You guys have the same personality."
Uh, but I again, I did that little smirk because there's nothing in Hawaii that's $2.50.
Yeah.
And
Look who just walked in.
so there's
Wait,
everything
can you
here.
back that up a little bit? What was that
Okay,
smirk about?
There's nothing in Hawaii that's $2.50.
Oh, got it.
It's crazy here.
It's
You know, you can
expensive.
buy 2 avocados for $5. It's insane, and it's getting higher.
Oh, that is
Um,
crazy.
like a bunch of green onions, small bunch is $3.
Oh,
So, you know,
wow.
your food produce is very high. So to
Yeah, but
know that in
your
drinking it,
island avocados are huge.
I know, but the ones at the store, they're small. So they're not from here. You know, they're from the mainland. So we have to pay 2 for $5. So
How much are the
Wow.
ones
You
on the
do-
island? Are they in season?
sometimes, yeah,
Oh, okay. My bad.
but they just, again, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, being able to purchase and have the vegetables that here, because when the ships, sometimes there's shortages because everything's shipped in here, you know. So to know that I'm drinking enough to not worry about that I'm not eating enough, that's kind of comforting too, you know. That
Wow. Well, I hope to have your husband maybe someday, maybe he's too
Yeah.
much to get on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're telling his story. But really quick, Rachel, can you share a little bit about you were sharing how you just been married for 5 years and how the Lord just continued to put you back together. You said a couple times of trying
Yeah.
to work this relationship.
Oh yeah, I just pulled away and it would come back, and then we had just like broken up, and I was like, okay, be well. I want you to be happy. God bless you, but I got to go now. I need to go. So I moved back to the mainland in 2008, and a couple of months later, I suffered a ruptured aneurysm in my head, and should have died, because
Mm,
no, people don't usually survive that,
mm.
but I didn't. And I knew there was a point on the table when I was getting ready to go into surgery. I said, okay, Lord, if I'm going to see you soon, I'm going to see you. I'm so excited. I'm going to go home.
Mm.
But if I don't, that's good too. Just tell me what you want me to live for you. What do you want me to do? But if I do die, I'm going to ask you, why is it that I never met a man that was worth anything? Was that a cup that passed me, Lord? And I want to know why. If that matters when I die, if that even matters, you got to explain that to me, because I don't know why that cup passed me. Why
So
did
you've
I
never
not?
been married? This
Oh
was your
no, it was, but it was horrible.
okay, got
So
it. A good
but
man.
and I had been single like 30 years, already. So I didn't, when I was maybe 27, I didn't want to ever go through that again. That's a vulnerable thing. It's you lay your heart out and it gets filleted and you get stepped on, and you don't want to do that again. But I thought, Lord, if it's me that's not ready, okay. But if it was just something that you didn't want me to experience in my life, I'm okay with that. But you need to explain it to me, because I wonder. And I'm doing this in my last moments of life, right? And I thought, does that really matter that much to me that I would talk to God about that at the end? But it wasn't the end. And I really wanted to know. So after that, Mr. Chang got in touch with me when I was recovering, and he sent me a check, a nice big check, and said, if
You're
you
like,
need.
I do. Just kidding.
No, I was like, oh my God, he's Chinese, girl, they don't send it real easy. Okay. So that has a lot to do with it. That was a big thing for a Chinese man. So I told him I had to call him, and I thought, okay, Bruce, I thank you so much for your monetary gift, and I thank you. And he was so shocked that I called him, and I said, and by the way, I forgive you. And then he goes, oh, Rich, I needed to hear that, because he speaks pidgin. Huh? So, and we
He's
started.
that Chinese. He's that Chinese that he has
He's
the accent?
half Hawaiian, half Chinese.
Oh,
So he speaks pidgin, but he's got a Chinese side. I asked him one day, do they conflict? Because your Hawaiian side will give you the shirt off your back, but the Chinese side is going to charge you for it.
That's good.
How do you do that?
That's
But
funny.
anyway, he was just blown away, and he goes, I forgive you. And he says, I needed that. And I said, you're okay. He goes, can I call you sometime? And for about 8 years we talked, and we talked to each other as friends. And then he made a call one day, and we talked, and we started getting more talky. And he said, he goes, I had a dream. And I go, oh, you did? He goes, yeah, I dreamt that I asked you to marry me. And I was like shocked, because I never thought he'd get married again. And I said, oh, so in your dream, what did I say? He goes, you said, yeah, Rach. I go, and what was I wearing? No, but and that started it. I knew at that point. I prayed about it for 3 years.
Wow.
And I said, Lord, if this
You're
is
asking God like why, and you wait another 3 years?
well, because I needed to make really sure, because I thought if this doesn't fall into place, then I'm not supposed to do it. I was scared, but it started to just fall into place. And he came to visit my family, and he was serious. So that's how it went. I moved to
Wow.
Hawaii, and we got married here. And it was amazing.
So you've been in Hawaii for 5 years?
Yep.
You've
I had
been-
lived here before, though. I had lived here 12 years, then
You've
moved
been
back
married
to
with him for 5 years, and you moved there for 5 years. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I was all together. I lived here for 12 years, then I moved back to the mainland for 8, and then I came back to get married to him.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah.
What a story.
So we've known each other a long time. We know what each other looked like when we were young, younger. But, being at this age, we figured, how much more life do we have left? And man, let's just go for it. Let's see. We've always loved each other, but nobody was wanting to make that move. And I thought, how many more years do we have? And, it's been hard, because it's hard to get married at, we're older, and he's 78, he's the older man, but he's just a young spirit, and I'm going to be 70 soon. So, how many more years do we have before, Lord takes us home naturally, hopefully.
What I love what I'm hearing, and Rachel, I do understand that you're very much well into healthy cooking now. So we don't have a whole lot of time, but what would you share? I mean, it took you a while to learn, and what better way is than to do your own homework? I can imagine what you thought. What was that when you went into a store? You had, what did you say, deer eyes, or what?
I was like a deer in the headlights, man. I
In the
just walked
headlight.
and I looked around going, I don't even know where to start. And I had to read ingredients. It took me an hour to shop, just because I had to read what has cholesterol, what does it have, what has a lot of sodium, what does not. And it took me a while. And then when he got the gout, because of the soy replacements that I was giving him, and the turkey, a guy with gout can't have certain things. So one was battling the other. And so it broke it down to even, and then being on blood thinners, there's certain vegetables he cannot have. So that's broccoli, asparagus,
So is it safe
kale,
to say-
spinach. Huh?
Is it safe to say that living food has taken a lot of the work out of the guessing and the time in the cooking?
Oh yeah, because
and
I
the
know he's not going to have something bad. It's going to feed his cells. Eating a bunch of kale, not just the nutrients from it, but the actual fibrous, green chlorophyll, whatever causes I think it's called purines in that food to give gout. The nutrients don't do that. It's the other parts of that vegetable that do. So I
Yeah,
knew that-
our vegetables are not the same. Our soil is
Yeah.
depleted, and people think that, eating a salad, they think they're eating healthier. Maybe it's a healthier choice, but it's still not giving the nutritional value that they think.
right. And certain vegetables, if you have certain conditions, like you would never think asparagus could hurt you, but there's something in them. I think I'm not saying it correctly, but it's purines is what I'm thinking. It it causes a gout. It causes a reaction in a person that has gout. So that asparagus in itself isn't a bad thing. It's something in it. But when you take the nutrients from it, you know,
Right,
that's
it's chemicals,
it
pesticides.
changes it changes it. So
Right.
I trust to have done all that. It's taken all those wonderful things and put it into the juice. The fiber and all that other stuff stays out, I'm supposing. But
Okay,
um,
okay, so it's
you
been
know,
about barely 2 months,
yeah.
2 months.
Oh no, I've been on it a month, and my husband's been on it a couple of weeks now.
You're telling me all this in this short period of time. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And that's why I thought, you know, when you asked me if I would do this, I said, of course I will, because now that I've run out for a week and a half now, I can feel the difference. So it's also a testimony to that. When you run out of the product, you will feel a little sluggish, and it starts to, you know, it's been a week, and I miss that energy, you know,
Yeah,
that
well, I
that
think you're
feeling.
getting it today or tomorrow. I know you're 4
Yeah.
hours earlier, but
But then the
again,
mental part, knowing that I'm missing my nutrients, you know,
yeah,
that's messing with my head a little bit, you know, because I thought
yeah,
I want that stability back. You know,
you'll get it
I
back.
don't want to lose it. I don't want to start breaking out.
You don't want
You know?
that pimple. Well, no
No,
worries. I
so
really recommend that you do get the extra canister because you don't
uh-huh.
want to run out. I do a
Yeah.
couple a day, and I don't even know what I would feel like, and I don't want to know. I feel too good. And we
Yeah.
wanna keep you feeling amazing. And
And
by
then
the way,
uh-huh.
I want you to take a picture of yourself. I think I told you in the beginning. If not, please do.
Okay, like I missed the before though.
Well, it's been a month, and I think you may already see changes in your face. But if you
Yeah.
can take a body photo, front and back, you are going to see changes, transformation, and possibly your skin not only healthier, but even maybe a little bit younger.
Mhm.
That's just what it does. So you're
Yeah.
on the right track, and we're going to have a part two, because if all this is happening, restoration for you and your husband in 1 month, what's it going to be like 6 months from now?
That's going to be interesting. So I'm excited about that. But I will be, like I said earlier, going to the mainland on the 25th of May, and I need to have something portable that I can take, because I don't want to put the whole can in my bag. You know, it's like, that's hard.
Or
So,
you can place an order and send it to the address where you're going to be at ahead of time.
oh, okay. Okay, that's another idea.
Yeah.
So, and again, I will ask you later, because I know we're limited on time, how to get onto the site again. So,
Yes.
so I can do
I'll
those things.
reconnect with you tomorrow, and
Okay.
make sure that you do that.
Okay.
We can even call and have it pre-ordered and sent out maybe
Okay.
in a few
Okay.
days.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kiki. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you. So nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you. Thank you
Nice
for
to
sharing
meet
your
you.
beautiful love
Okay.
story, and now to keep this relationship healthy and
Yeah.
happy. So thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. This is a win-win, and I always end with happy sales, happy body. Bye-bye.
Bye.